Hello, hi, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. I am JC. Today's video, a little late, mind you, but it is just a post-challenge update. We're just going to talk about all of the ways I failed my 75-90 challenge. Well, maybe not all of the ways because I don't really like harping on my failures that much, but and this is my little board that I wrote up for myself. I did do a graphic that I put on my community tab, but he came up with this challenge that would be 75-90. 75 part for the writing part and the 90 days for the getting my lifestyle goals and stuff back together. Now, mind you, granted, the 90-day part is not actually over yet, but I'm calling it here. I'm calling time of death on the 75-90 challenge altogether, just because this challenge is it's not for me, not set up for me. Well, we'll just talk about, let's start with the 90-day part, because that's the part that technically I still have time on, but I'm not. Yeah, I was supposed to do 25 minutes of physical exercise on the days that I didn't go out, which proved to be more difficult than even I had imagined. I tried the chair Zumba, right? Chair Zumba. I tried it multiple times actually. I'll just say, and I didn't try it on camera or anything because I just personally don't want to what's the word, humiliate myself that much. Not quite that much. I let y'all see a lot, but y'all don't need to see that. I the physical is just a little harder for me. I did stretches. I didn't do 25 minutes worth of stretches, but I did stretches, like the calf raises, and I want to say I did a version of downward dog, the yoga pose, which is kind of like, just bending over and stretching your whole, a version, because I don't think I leaned fully into that as you're supposed to. But I can't do that. So, it was some other stretch that I forgot what it's not a normal stretch that I normally did, but it was one that was supposed to be good for people with mobility issues. I forgot what it's called, but it has to do with trying to strengthen your legs. The mental health, I have not yet found a therapist. I just haven't found one close enough to go to. Well, and there's online, but I don't know that online virtual therapy would be for me. I would at least need to have my first therapy appointment in person, I feel, for me personally. There's some virtual ones, but I want to do a personal first. And some of the virtual ones, like their office is too far to drive in my current economic state. So I'm still looking. I have not given up. I will find one before the end of this year. I just not before the end of this 90 days. I so failed on the going to sleep by 4:30 a.m. I started going back to sleep at my regular 6 a.m., sometimes 6:30 a.m. time. I'm not proud of it. It's just what works for me at the moment, at the present moment. I feel like if I was in a more peaceful place, in a place of my own, I could go back to going to sleep, because I used to go to bed by 4 o'clock in the morning, in my own place. And I just feel like I get really restless. And even when I lay down before, not before 4:30, but even if I lay down before 6, I'm really restless. I'm moving and tossing and turn as much as I can in the bed that I share with my child. Yeah, sleep is not something that's probably going to get better at this moment. I'm not giving up total hope, but not at this moment. I haven't officially done any like virtual classes like I wanted to, like a master class. But I have been like going through some marketing videos and things, trying to get better at marketing my books and marketing all the things. Probably haven't done that enough, but I have done that. Definitely not 3 times a week. Actually, no, I probably have watched more than 3 videos in a week. But I don't know if it would account for the entirety of one course. Um, I'm supposed to release 45-minute reading sprints a day. That hasn't happened. I read every single day, no matter what. I just don't sit down for 45 minutes concentrated and read. Because I start to feel like that's 45 minutes I could be writing instead of, and I know it's terrible, but I do get my reading in. So just not as much as I probably should or want to. And I also have not done really good at reading the nonfiction. I really have to work on that. I'm sorry, I know. I have done crochet, but not as much because my wrist. And if I write a lot during the week, which that's the goal, my wrist hurt by the time the weekend gets here. And it hurts to crochet with my wrist, and coloring also hurts. So, but I've been watching TV and catching up on TV and watching some movies and some old movies. I just watched Buffy, the original Buffy, the other day, along with Halloween Town. Now to the writing part, the 75-day part. Let me just take a sip of this. Now, I wish if I was smart before I started filming, I would have added up all of the total numbers that I've gotten since July 1st. That would be an interesting number. If I do that before I release this video, I'll scroll it somewhere on the bottom of the screen. But I don't know that I'm going to do that because that's a lot of numbers. My writing goal was to write 2,000 words a day, Monday through Friday, or 1,000 on Monday and Friday, the days that I normally go out, or whatever day I go out, 1,000. 2,000 words on the day I don't go out. The unsaid goal was 2 hours a day on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and on Monday and Friday, at least 1 hour a day. I say unsaid because it's on my Finch app. It's one of my goals on my Finch app that I write for at least 1 hour on Monday and Friday and 2 hours Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because it aligned with this. Editing, because at the time when I set this, I was still editing. Not the second round of editing, the first round of editing. And it was to edit 2 chapters a day until I was finished, or 1 chapter on Monday and Friday. I don't know if I stuck to editing 2 chapters a day, but I did finish. I did finish the first round plus the second round of editing. I just sent it to some beta readers this past weekend, so I did finish that. I don't know if I did it in the manner of which I set it up at. In the social media marketing goal, I after the first week, I just forgot. I literally forgot to do it. My bad. But here's why I am not completely upset at myself that I failed. Because in trying to do this challenge, I maybe didn't develop the discipline that I thought I would develop doing this, because there were days that I didn't get 2K, but I wrote 2 hours. So that unsaid goal that I set on my Finch app ended up really giving me a different type of discipline for writing. There were a lot of days I didn't hit 2K, and I sort of felt bad about that, but I wrote my 2 hours. There were days, even on days that I went out, where I'm only supposed to write an hour, that I wrote an hour and a half. So take that into consideration. There are some days where I got more than 2K a day. And last week, as I'm filming this, last week's video has already been released. But last week I wrote 12,310 words in a single week. And it was a really bad pain week at that. I don't even know how I did it. But I gotta think that it's all the discipline that was built up that started with this challenge. So while I may have failed the challenge in the way that I constructed it, I don't know that I failed the point of the reason why I did the challenge, was to create a discipline and develop a routine for writing that got me words and got me finished projects and got me accomplishing things again. So while, yes, traditional sense I was not successful at this challenge. Oh, and I also, on the life side, the 90-day part, I scheduled an appointment for a rheumatologist. It's in December, but I scheduled it, so I will get that form of treatment for my RA, from an actual RA doctor. And I just scheduled an appointment for a doctor at a pain management specialist is what my doctor referred me to. So I just scheduled that appointment, which is next Monday. And I'm supposed to schedule an orthopedic doctor appointment, which I'll schedule one soon. But the whole point is, and I've read, if I was also smart, I would have kept track of the books that I've read since starting this challenge. But I know I've read at least 4. I was going to say 5, but I don't want to give myself that many. But I've read at least 4 books, and I know that's not a lot for most people, but that is a lot for me. I'm a slow reader. I'm also a slow writer. I wish I had done better at this challenge, particularly the physical part, because I really do want to get better at being physical. I actually miss working out and exercising. I don't know that I'll ever, with the physical issues that I do have, I don't know that I'll ever be able to go to the gym in a traditional sense again. But I do hope that I'll be able to, when I go to see this pain management specialist, I do hope that I will be able to find ways to work out again and get that back on track. But my whole thing, and I know physical movement is a part of making your writing discipline better. So I wish I could have gotten that part together. Who knows how much that would have kicked me into high gear. But I wrote over 9K words the week prior. Not last week, but the week before. And then I wrote 12,000 words last week. I feel like I've created a discipline and a routine that's working. And in the midst of this challenge, I also discovered the wheel experiment. Well, I didn't discover the wheel experiment. That was, it's probably someone else, but I first saw it on Kate Kavanaugh's channel. It just took me forever to actually do it for myself. I think mostly because before I've never really had a problem deciding what I wanted to work on. And I was having serious decision fatigue. And so for 2 weeks in August, I'm supposed to make a separate video on that. It's coming. But for 2 weeks in August, I did an experiment with the wheel where I let the wheel choose a project I work on each sprint. And I think that actually kind of kicked up things a notch in my writing as well. So while I may not have successfully completed the challenge in the way that I intended to complete it, I did find a discipline and a routine that I didn't, or that I was struggling to get back to. And can't be mad at that. I could kick myself for lots of things, but I won't. I will not be mad at myself for not completing the challenge the way I wanted to. I will not. If I say it enough, I'll convince myself. But No, but really, I'm proud of the discipline and the routine that I have developed with my writing. Um, yeah, I think I think that's about all that I have to say about that challenge. I failed miserably, but then did I really though? Because I seem to have stumbled upon a routine and a discipline that is working, and that's all I can really ask for from any challenge that I do. But with that, that's going to be it for this video. If you like what you see and you want to see more videos from me, make sure that you hit that like and subscribe button. I post videos on Mondays. I live stream on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as per usual, if you would like to be supportive of me in any of my creative endeavors, such as my blog, my online magazine, my online store with writer merch, becoming a member on my Patreon, tipping me on my Ko-fi, buying my books on Amazon, or reading them in Kindle Unlimited, all of those links can be found in the description box below. And until next time, take care of yourselves and have a blessed day. Bye.